Hello viewers, Mike here. This is part 3 of the Bridgeport DRO mounting, and we have the Y-axis put on. That's working well, and we have the magic box in place. That looks good. Went to mount the X-axis on and ran into a bit of an issue, and let's take a closer look. I'll show you what I've got. So here we are on the back side of the table, and the scale is held in place with a couple of magnets. It's just sitting on those magnets, and you can see where the end of the scale covers about half of the coolant drainage hole in the end of this table, and boy, I don't like that at all. So either I ordered the wrong scale or they sent me the wrong scale, and we're going to take it back over to the bench and we're going to try to figure out what the issue is. What I have is a 30-inch travel on this Bridgeport table, and that's in metric 762 something like that millimeters. So they only have certain scales available, so I think this one was supposed to be an 800 millimeter scale, which I thought would be close enough. And so we're going to double check that and see what the issue is and see what we can do about it. I think sending the scale back, if it's their error, probably isn't going to be an option. And if it's my error, it definitely isn't an option. So if we can, we might cut this scale down, so that'll be an adventure in itself. Problem solved on the scale length. I went ahead and cut it down. You can still see part of the glass. I never took the glass out of this thing. I cut it with the glass in place so that I didn't disturb it. But then when I cut it, I had to move this end cap in, and when I did that, I needed to put 4 new tapped holes in there. Now the original screws that came out of this were 2 millimeter screws, and I didn't have a 2 millimeter tap. I had a 2.5 millimeter tap that I felt like was close enough, so I tapped those 2.5 millimeter, and then of course then I had to get 2.5 millimeter screws. So this whole deal with cutting this scale and tapping the holes and all that took me probably about an hour and a half, and it took me 2 weeks to get the screws because they shipped them from China. I couldn't find any locally, at least the places that I called. Even Fastenal, which has everything, didn't have 2.5 millimeter screws. So cutting down a glass scale is very doable, and I didn't video the process because there's 3 very good videos on cutting glass scales on the internet or on YouTube, and if you want to see that process, go to those and you'll see how easy it is. So alright, so that takes care of my scale length problem, and we'll proceed to install this. Now I've got the X-axis scale mounted on the back of the table, and to save time and a lot of cranking, I'm going to preset this by just taking my depth mics and miking down from the top of the table. And then when I get that as close as I can, then I will double check it by running the table back and forth and to verify it. So that's what I'll do next. Alright guys, we'll just take a quick look at this DRO installation, and it's about 99% done now. Just a few things left to do. We will secure these wires, armored cables. We'll figure out the best way to remount this way cover back here, and then finally we will take some gauge blocks and we'll check the accuracy, see if we have to do any adjustment there. It'll be a good addition to the old Bridgeport, and looking forward to learning how to use it. Well, I wish we didn't have the wrinkles on this keypad protector here. Maybe I can run a heat gun over it and flatten it out a little bit. It sure picks up a lot of glare. So yeah, there you have it. And we'll catch you on the next one. And this is Mike signing out.